Ladies and gentlemen, American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I want to thank Bernie Kunkel once again for his endorsement, and I would like to just share with you a little bit about how that happened, and just want to let you know that I spoke to Bernie yesterday, and Bernie is taking a lot of heat for it, which is really sad and a shame. But I just want to share with you something. When Bernie Kunkel had his heart attack, and that was public knowledge, I waited a while, and then I've been communicating directly to him, and he's not been, up to a visit. I just wanted to visit him as a friend. My friendship goes back with Bernie Kunkel a long way. I want to stress this to you. My relationship is with Bernie Kunkel. My relationship, I didn't know anybody else in the family. I know who his wife is, but my relationship is with Bernie Kunkel. I'm also friends with his brother, David Kunkel, and I've met other brothers. I've never met Bill Kunkel. I also obviously know some Brueggemans. But the bottom line is, my relationship is with Bernie Kunkel. Bernie Kunkel posted on January 10th, "The best service anyone can provide is to warn voters against Senator Mitch McConnell. Old Mitch is a domestic enemy of the United States. Senator Mitch McConnell is ruining our beloved country. It is up to us to protect and defend our beloved nation. Ditch Mitch." This, when I printed it out, had 9 shares, 70 likes, and a whole laundry list of people complimenting him and saying, "Great, Bernie, you're back. You're back. You're back." Now, this is on January the 10th. He also made another post. I communicated with Bernie and David Kunkel about where Bernie was. I thought he was at Christ Hospital. I went to Christ Hospital. I found out he was at a physical therapy facility, and he said, "Yeah, come on in." So I went to where he was, and I walked in. Bernie's lost a lot of weight, and he looked great. And I had a buddy with me, and I want everybody to know that when I spoke to Bernie Kunkel, he was as coherent and wonderful and delightful and as charming as ever. There was absolutely no physical or cognitive issue going on with Bernie Kunkel. Now, he's there for physical therapy, obviously. And by the way, he was eating a cheeseburger and French fries. I'm assuming maybe it was some kind of special meat. But Bernie and I talked about what had happened to him, and we had a delightful conversation. Now, you can't talk to Bernie Kunkel without turning to politics. He brought it up. And he expressed to me his utter disappointment in Savannah Maddox and her dropping out and everything else. Now, you have to understand something. Bernie and I remained friends, even though he had endorsed Maddox. He made that commitment early on, and he always told me that if Maddox dropped out, he would endorse me. I even had offered Bernie a job on my campaign during this time period, but he stuck with Maddox. So he apologized to me, and he said, "Well, I'm going to keep my word to you. Since she's not running, I'm for you. And I endorse you, and I'm going to announce it, and you can announce it too." He announced it, and his announcement met with all of the people that are glad that he endorsed me posting, but he took a lot of heat from people like Chris Wiest, who in a post said he was going to vote for Andy Beshear over me, which, by the way, I want you all to know this. I announced long ago I would vote for Maddox over Beshear. Whoever the Republican nominee was, I would support over Beshear, but not Chris Wiest. So he took a lot of heat from that, and I felt bad. And I communicated with some family members politely, and then I communicated with Bernie directly yesterday. And Bernie says he's not. Some people even asked him to repeal the endorsement, and he said he's not going to repeal the endorsement. He's going to keep his word. Now, one of the things. Everybody knows that my campaign is really stressing that I'm the only anti-McConnell. Bernie Kunkel posted this on January 10th, and nobody had any issue with it. I go meet Bernie Kunkel this past, it's Friday, this week, after January 10th. Bernie Kunkel was in not some kind of like delirious state. And by the way, as a lawyer, you know how many times I've been with people at hospital beds, then they were dying, they were coherent. I mean, I've met with all kinds of people in hospitals in various state frame of mind. Bernie Kunkel's in a clear state of mind. By the way, remember, in the middle of his endorsement of Savannah Maddox, he invited me to go to the May crowning rosary at his house, and I went. I went over there, and I teased Bernie. I kneeled under an oak tree, and we said one rosary. Well, I found out you say all three rosaries. You got to say the glorious, you got to say the joyful, and you've got to say the sorrowful. You got to do all three. And I'm like, my God. I finally had to sit down. I couldn't kneel anymore. So, I mean, so just think about that. That's my relationship with him. And we both hate him. Now, let me tell you what some people who love and care about Bernie, they love and care about Bernie, about him being used because he's been used so many times. He got used by Bevin. He got used by Maddox. He gets used by people. Nobody ever does much for Bernie. Well, I want you all to know, just like I had said when he was supporting Maddox, I offered Bernie a job on my campaign and to help him and his family out. I said, Bernie, you can do it from your bed, making phone calls, emails, texting. I want to help you out. And he refused. He said, no, Eric, I'm not in any shape to do that. I don't want to do that. I said, well, Bernie, the offer stands. Also, I'm a bad guy. I'm offering Bernie a good job, financial compensation while he recovers. I mean, well, that's a real bad guy. And he declined that. He did ask, he said, if you win, I'd like to serve in your administration. And I said, you're damn right you can serve in my administration. So that's what happened. I mean, there's nothing bad or wrong about it all. And I think it's sad that there's people who are beating up on Bernie. I mean, I'm not beating up on Bernie. I'm trying to help Bernie. If Bernie is recovering from a cardiac arrest, why would people want to beat up on him? Makes no sense to me. But I want to explain myself because it's out there in Boone County like I did some devious thing. I didn't do anything devious. Bernie Kunkel committed to me if Maddox dropped out, and he kept his word. It's that simple. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Bernie, get better. We all need you.